guys, welcome to Clockwork, Noodles for another breakdown of Spice and Wolf episode 7, 2024 remake. I hope you're looking after yourselves. Heatwave is slowly vanishing from the UK again. It's going to go back to normality soon. It's going to be wet and windy, of course. I hope you guys are looking after yourselves. Make sure you guys are subscribed. This week you're having my midway review. The review is done. I officially finished it last night. I'm going to schedule it for perhaps Friday. Let's have it out on Friday. It was actually harder than I thought. I can't wait to share with you guys my thoughts currently. Obviously, that is only top 3 OPs, EDs, current selling anime for halfway. And it's always fun to do a comparison at the end to see how things have changed. I might start incorporating that just so you guys can see my top 3 and then we'll compare it to the end and see how things have actually changed in the 6 episodes. That could be fun. But let's get straight to it. We're going to a new town and I always love it when it gets to a new town. All the talk of food this week making me very hungry because I've come from work and actually not eaten today, and I don't know, things have been really stressful, and your girl skipped and your girl really regrets skipping because all that talk about food just really made me want to eat food. I do enjoy the tales and the chemistry between the two anyway. This week we do get a tale of a saint and we literally have an eyewitness to prove the story where it actually needs proving. The very person who would bite a saint's ass, it's okay, I didn't kill him, but I did bite his ass, which I think is great because history generally is written by the victor. But I do wonder, how would you fake having your own arm cut off? Because the guy got his butt bit, so he must have lost his arm in a different manner. Maybe it was something stupid and it was like, no, this great beast took off my arm and I've made it this big tall tale. It's very interesting to see where things get elaborated, where things change, because normally you'd elaborate where you don't visibly tell if something has been altered or not. Like, oh, I lost my head. Well, clearly you didn't. Very interesting to see this story, and I love the fact that at the end she was trying to tell us that no, he's alive, he didn't lose his life or anything. I love the fact that that is what's important to her, because she isn't a cold-blooded killer. She literally just taught the guy a lesson. This is a lesson I'm teaching you, and I like the fact that it was a lesson that seems to have had a effect on the city, all about the idea of frugality and actually being frugal with your money and saving and not living too frivolously, which I really like. And let's go into the trade deals section, because the trade deal was awesome. I am enjoying watching these trade deal sections, especially when a girl gets involved. It was a trick that she noticed immediately, and the camera keeps panning. If you keep looking at her, she's clearly cottoned on very early, and the fact that she tells the guy to go get her a drink so he leaves the room is 100% that she's noticed something is up. I love the fact that I was waiting and waiting. I was like, she's going to get involved, she's going to say something, she's going to do something, and as soon as they go and shake on the deal, I knew it. I knew she was going to interrupt the handshake, and I love it because she spills the water and it slides down the table. It's a very clever little trick if you're not looking for it, because I guess the table's off-centered by a small amount, enough to put the scale on the other side so everything comes a bit lighter, so him weighing it going, oh, it weighs this, but no, it's because the table's at an angle and scales aren't actually measuring properly. And I love the fact that Lawrence also keeps going, I'm a man of God, I trust God, this is me pleading to your better half, you should do the right thing, it's justice. And especially using that in the world where we know that the church is literally central as well. So I thought that was actually very nice, little nod from him being quite clever, trying to leave it up to God to actually do the right thing. It was a fantastic little trade deal which I really enjoyed watching, and very happy that we can see them trading up. This time we're going for armor. It's always interesting to see where he goes next. I enjoy watching the upscaling of how much he's making, which makes me feel happy. Now, under the spell of a very cute wolf, I thought that was very, very clever, which I thought was great because, of course, you can see that she knows how to play him. It was just a great little scene just showing the relationship between the two, with the tension starting to kind of be there when we've got a bit of teasing going on, a bit of light teasing, which I think is nice, but also the hidden message that Holo doesn't want to be alone, so she's trying her best to, oh, I'm going to add to this debt, I'm going to keep adding to this debt. And to be fair, I think she could probably pay it off really, really quickly with how good she is at trade deals, so I wouldn't really worry about it either. But I like the fact that Lawrence does eventually cotton on as well, and is like, okay, fine, as long as you can pay it back by the time we get to the forest, there's no rush, you don't have to, it's okay, which I thought was very, very nice. So a very nice little scene too, a nice little soft scene as well, as I call them. Now, the next bit about the tariffs I thought was very interesting. This appeals to me as a historian anyway, because you can see that the church is starting to hold a monopoly. If you're not guaranteed the seal of approval by the church, you're not going to make any big money. It's interesting to see why he wasn't immediately jumping to jewels, gold, all of the big stuff, because he can't. and the fact that he wouldn't make any money. The fact that there's also a punishment too for smuggling. Now, smuggling is something very interesting in the UK too, as if you're down in the south, and I recently came back from Cornwall anyway, there are smugglers' coves everywhere, and it's a very fascinating little place to go if you are ever in the UK. Everyone seems to go to London. There is more to the UK than just London. I actually say go to Cornwall, go to Plymouth, go to the South Country, because you will find so much to do. Lots of smugglers' caves, lots of taverns, lots of like piratey stuff kind of going on down there, and it's really, really interesting. And the fact that we see in this anime that smuggling is actually met by the punishment of losing your dominant arm. So my right arm will be cut off, which is very similar to the story of the saint as well, which is, I'm wondering why that's perhaps the reason why they chose to make that the punishment, because, this man, the saint, he lost his arm, so the punishment for you doing something against this is you actually losing your arm, because obviously smuggling isn't frugal, it's you trying to make money and going against the church. I really, really enjoyed it. The medieval punishments too as well, and the fact that the church is being very central is very close to reality, as we've said that it's a fantasy world, but it is based on medieval Europe, and a lot of these things I'm picking up on, and it's making me very, very happy. I'm also happy that they took time to explain the tariffs and why we can't just camp the gold and gold doesn't lose its value or anything, because we can't. Very interesting, and I found this bit fascinating. This kind of stuff I don't think would be interesting to everybody, but it's fascinating to me who loves lore. I love world building. I love the fact that Spice and Wolf goes that far to make sure that we understand this is what happens, this is how this happens, this is why we're not dealing in gold or anything. Really, really like it. Let's talk about the end bit where we go to see the type of human that Holo hates the most. Shepherd. Now, the shepherd is in the OP. I absolutely love her design. I think it's beautiful. I would happily wear this. This is something I would make and wear, and it looks really, really comfortable. But is she really a sorcerer? Now, we did see at the start of the episode that the horn that she plays, the wolves ended up falling back. Maybe they just don't like the sound, and maybe that's just why Holo don't like her, because maybe in the past she's had experiences with shepherds before and she doesn't like them very much, because shepherds, I think, do have a handle on dealing with wolves, and I think they are perhaps at least more acquainted to dealing with them because they see them more often than not. So maybe that's why she doesn't like it, or maybe there's something more magical going on, because the whole sequence was surrounded by all this grass in the air, which I thought was quite unique, and there was a big build on them getting closer and closer, and then the smile and the wind blowing, and then you finally see her removing her hood, as he mentions, a man of God kind of thing. I'm glad to have met you, I'm so happy. I am curious to see what's going to happen, because it seems like our girl is not impressed. Animal instincts perhaps, where they know that this person's bad, or they know there's like bad intent here. Very curious to see what's going on, and I'm very excited to finally meet another character from the OP. Very good episode, really enjoyed it, and I liked the little bits and pieces. Nice pacing too. I do think the pacing on Spice and Wolf is nice, so cannot have a complaint there. I think it's really enjoyable. Very excited to see where we're going next week. More about this character. What's the name? What's the backstory? What's the deal? What's going on? I like that. Fantastic episode. I hope you guys are looking after yourselves. Do check out the Coffee account if you want to support the channel. And I've got some big news coming to you very, very shortly now, and I can't wait to share with you guys. It means big things for the channel, so make sure you guys are staying tuned and subscribed. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.